Welcome to Steam It with Steve. Today we're going to keep going on with our coding bat experience and we're going to learn how to do some logic in Python. So let's just jump on in here. Okay, so I'm at coding bat. I'm going to do the basic Boolean logic exercises. I'm going to click on here and have a go. So we're going to start with the Cigar Party. Those squirrels are up to it again. Alright, so when squirrels get together for a party, they like to have cigars. A squirrel party is successful when the number of cigars is between 40 and 60 inclusive, unless it is the weekend, in which case there is no upper bound to the number of cigars. Return true if the party is in the given value successful, or false otherwise. Cool, so this is going to be just a straight if statement. So literally we're just going to go if the cigars in the range and the bounds are from 40 to 60, so we'll do 40 not to 60 but 61, so then that will chop off and include, it doesn't include 61. So if it's in that range, return true. Then if the cigar, and also sorry, let's just run that just so you can see what the outputs are going to look like. That's not going to work out so much. Cool, so we've got some of them working. Now the other condition to that, unless it is the weekend. So if it's in that range and it's not is weekend, you see how it's straight like an almost like a pseudocode language? That's cool. So that should work. So then the next one, if cigars are greater than or equal to so there's no upper bound. So as long as it's between 40, so it has to be greater or equal to 40. And it is the weekend now, so we've filtered that bit out. We return true. And then if it doesn't hit any of those conditions, we just return false. Let's see what happens. Cool. So do you see how we've almost filtered it through? So the first one basically checked the base case, which was if it was in that range of 40 to 61 and is not the weekend, return true. Otherwise, it was false. Otherwise, sorry, we checked to see if it was greater than 40, and if it is the weekend, return true. Another cool thing that I found out playing around the other day with this, Python's really cool with ranges. So we have that original expression there, right? In math, one of the famous ways of doing ranges is you literally type in the lower bound and then you go less than or equal to whatever the thing is. And then you give the upper bound to it. Most programming languages won't let you do that. They'll actually ask you to do it like this. So they'll say 40 is less than or equal to cigars and cigars are less than or equal to 60. So you have to say that them as two separate things. The cool part with this though, in Python, you can actually type it straight in. So down here, we literally go 40, less than equal cigars, less than equal 60. That will work as well. Okay, so just so you know that exists. Alternatively, if you want to do it, you could also write it like that. And that would work as well. Cool. Next one, date fashion. You and your date are trying to get a table to a restaurant. The parameter U is the stylishness of your clothes in the range from 0 to 10. And the date is the stylishness of your date's clothes. The result getting the table is encoded in int value. 0 is equal to no, 1 is equal to maybe, and 2 is equal to yes. If either of you is very stylish, 8 or more, and the result is 2, then the result is 2, with the exception that if either of you has a style of 2 or less, then the result is no. Otherwise, the option is maybe. Cool. So the first bit, just coding straight into it. I hear that exception and that sort of stands out to me. So the result getting the table is blah, blah, blah. So if either of you is 8 or more, then the result is yes, with the exception if either of you is the style of 2. So as soon as one of them is 2, straight away the result is no. So do you see how that's sort of the main case? So what we're going to do is test for that first. So we're going to go if U is less than or equal to 2, or your date is less than or equal to 2, then we're going to return a no. So let's see what happens with that. Yep, that's cool, that's cool, that's cool. So it looks like we've handled all the no's. Great. We're then going to go across here. If and then we're going to see if either of them are above an 8. So if u is greater or equal than 8, or your date is greater than or equal to 8. So because this is filtered through, that's sorted all the problems out, right? So if either of those is true, we're going to then return a 2. Now you could do this as an else here, but because there's only one other option, I'm just going to literally write it as one line. So otherwise the maybe is you just return a 1. So this part here, I'll just put a little bit of comment in here. Hash is if no booking. This bit here is you get the booking. And this is maybe get the booking. So let's run that and see what happens. Cool, perfect. Awesome. So then the next one, here we go. Squirrel play, and we've got the squirrels happening again. So squirrels in Palo Alto spend most of their days playing. In particular, they play if the temperature is between 60 and 90 inclusive. Unless it is summer, then the upper limit is 100 instead of 90. Given the in temperature and the boolean is summer, return true if the squirrels play and false otherwise. Okay, so if I'm going to use that range that I talked about before. We're going to go less than or equal than temp, and it's less than or equal to 90. So if the temperature is between 60 and 90, unless it's summer. So as long as that is not summer. So and not is summer. That's happening. You're all good. You're partying. Unless it's summer, the upper limit is 100 instead of 90. So then we'll just test that. So if 60 less than or equal to temp and less than or equal to 100 and summer, return true. And now you probably could put that all in one huge line, but I like this way a bit better. Otherwise, return false. Oh, sorry, is summer. Cool. All good. So this bit here, check to see if it was between 60 and 90 inclusive, and then that it was not summer. Then this one was checking to see if it's between 60 and 100. So it goes up and it is summer, then return true, otherwise false. Now you could jam this all together in one huge if statement, but sometimes when you're doing, so I mean, you could do something like this. We got rid of that. And we put brackets around this guy. So that was the first condition, or that, and wrap that all in brackets. It would still work out. Okay, but I don't like doing that. Just simply because when you're coding, sometimes you just want to get your head around what actually is happening. So you've done through this. This is almost like a filter. So you've checked this first, then you've checked this, and then that's what happens at the end. Totally up to you. Right, you're driving a little too fast and the police officer stops you. Write the code that computes the result, encoded as an int value. So 0 is no ticket, 1 is a small ticket, 2 is a big ticket. If the speed is 60 or less, the result is 0. If the speed is between 61 and 80 inclusive, the result is 1. If speed is 81 or more, the result is 2. Unless your birthday, so that the speed can be 5 higher in all cases. Okay. Something to do with that birthday. So if it is your birthday, you want it to reduce your speed. Like you can potentially go faster, but that just means that your speed that you're checking is going to be lower if you're going to use those values. So what I'm going to do, if it's your birthday, then I'm going to say you can take off something off your speed. So you're going to take 5 Ks off the speed, right? So whatever the speed is, if it was, say they were getting They're driving 85 kilometers. Automatically now, because it's their birthday, they can take off 5 kilometers. Right. Cool. So now the speed literally has been buffered. So we've filtered that speed if it is your birthday. We don't have to worry about the is your birthday now. Now all we just have to do is worry about if you get a ticket or not. So if it's 60 or less, so if speed is less than or equal to 60, or yeah, so less than or equal 60, then return no ticket. So you're all good. We could do it as an elif, but I'm just going to do it as an if. If the speed is between, so we'll go 61. Let's go, here we go again. We'll go 61 less than equal speed, less than equal to 80 inclusive. Snaky bite, we're going to return a 1. And sorry, I need to go back here and type in return. And then if the speed, we don't even need to do any if, because it's just going to be everything else. We can just return 2. See how this goes. Cool. That one didn't work. That one didn't work. What's gone on there? So it was true. They were going 65 kilometers. So that would be considered that the speed is 60 or less. Let's see what the speed actually comes out as each time if we have that filter. Sorry, here we go. Speed now equals speed minus 60 minus 5. That's what I went wrong. Here we go. Cool. Right, so if it is your birthday, we then change the speed. So speed is now equal to the speed minus the 5 kilometers. If the speed is less than or equal to 60, you return it with 0. If the speed is between 61 and 80, return a 1. Otherwise, we just return a 2. How goes that? Cool. Next one. Given two ints A and B, return their sum. However, if the sum is in the range of 10 to 19 inclusive, they are forbidden. So in that case, just return 20. Okay. So I would filter this again. So if there's an exception there. However, the sum is in the range of 10 to 19 inclusive, they are forbidden. So in that case, just return 20. So we're going to find out what the sum is first. So we're going to go a variable sum. We're going to go that is equal to A plus B. However, the sums are in the range of 10 to 19 inclusive, they are forbidden. So if, and we're going to go from 10 less than equal, and then put the sum in the middle of that, and then go less than equal to 19. So if it's inside that range there, we just return 20. Otherwise, after we pass that filter, we can just go return the sum. So this is going to add those two numbers together, A and B, that were inputted. So 3 plus 4 does equal 7, 9 plus 4 does equal 20, 10 plus 11 equals 21. Let's see how this goes. Yeah, cool. So if the sum is between 10 and 19, we return 20. Otherwise, we just return the sum. Alarm clock. So given a day of week encoded as 0 from Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, all the way up to Saturday is 6. And a boolean indicating if we are on vacation, return a string in the form of 7 o'clock, indicating when the alarm should ring. Weekdays, the alarm should be 7, and on weekends, it should be 10. Unless we are on the vacation, then the weekdays, it should be 10, and on weekends, it should be off. So here we go. We've got 1, which would be a Monday, and false. So no, you're not on vacation, so 7 o'clock is what it should spit out. Same with this. So there's going to be either you're on the, so there's two things at play. There's what day it is and whether you're on holidays. So if you're in the weekdays, that means that it's business as usual. And then if you're on the weekends, that means the alarm should go at 10. Yep. And then if it's on vacation, then everything gets pushed back. So the weekdays, basically you're on vacation, the alarm should come back down to 10 o'clock. And then on weekends, you just don't even have it on, doesn't even exist. Right, let's think about this. So if we could do in the range from the middle of the week, which would be from 1 to 5. So if day in range, I'm going to go from 1 to 6, so not including the Saturday, so that will spit out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if it's in that range, we're then going to say, so if it's in the middle of the week, we can then do another if statement inside that. So if vacation, so okay, here we go. So if you're on vacation and it's in the middle of the week, we're then, what will it be, 10 o'clock? Yeah. Otherwise, if it's in the middle of the week, it's business as usual, so you will return 7 o'clock. Right, and then what we could do, instead of writing another if statement, we're just going to go else, and then do it again. So if vacation, we then return off, else return 10 o'clock. So we've got our 4 different branches that could happen in the little probability tree. So if it's a weekday, that's the first branch. So it's either a weekday or a weekend. And then the first one is if it's a vacation, go this way. If it's not a vacation, go this way. And then this one's if it's a vacation and then not a vacation down here. Cool. So let's see how that goes. Should be all right. Cool. Even got a little gold star. Awesome. The number 6 is truly a great number. Given 2 int values, A and B, return true if either of them is a 6 or the sum or difference is 6. Note the function abs computes the absolute value of a number. So absolute value basically gets rid of the negative symbol. So if it's -5, if we do the absolute value of -5, gives us 5. So we want to see the sum and the difference. So we're going to go sum. That's pretty easy. The sum is equal to A plus B. And then what we're going to do with the difference is we're going to go diff, and I'm going to use the abs function on this. So I'm going to go absolute value of A minus B. Right, so in this case, we had the first one would be 6 plus 4, which gives us 10. Or we would do 6 take away 4, which gives us 2. Then with this one, 4 plus 5 is 9. But then the difference would be -1. So 4 take away 5 would give you -1, right? But it's either differences, right? So if you did B take away A, you would get 1. So that's where we need to make sure that that's being considered. So by doing the absolute value, it doesn't matter if this results as a negative, it will just become 1. Cool. So then I'm just going to do it as return. So return if A is equal to 6, that's all good. That's true. Or if B equals 6, we're all good. Or sum equals 6, or the diff equals 6. Bam. How goes that? So we've done the sum, we've then done the difference, and then we just literally checked the truth of this. So if it was equal to 6, that would be true. If B was equal to 6, it would return true overall. If the sum of A and B was equal to 6, true. And if the difference was equal to 6, return true. Awesome. Next one, 1 to 10. Given a number n, return true if n is in the range of 1 to 10 inclusive, unless outside mode is true, in which case return true if the number is less or equal to 1, or greater or equal to 10. Right. Okay, so given a number n, return true if the n is in the range of 1 to 10 inclusive, unless outside mode is true, in which case return true if the number is less than or equal to 1, or greater or equal to 10. Here we go. So if I know. N is in range from 1 to 11. And outside mode. So if that's true, sorry, not outside mode, because it's that's just what the normal thing is. So, and then not outside mode, we're going to return true. Yeah. Otherwise, we're going to return false. For now, let's just see what happens. We haven't done the outside mode yet. Okay, we've got some of them. So we've got more than half. That's good. So then we want to check if it's outside mode. And if the numbers, okay, so if it's outside mode and the numbers are from 0 to 10. Here we go. So if n, and we'll use actual numbers. So we'll go n is less than or equal to -1. And n is greater than or equal to 10. And outside mode has been activated. We can then also return true. So that's the exception. See how that one goes. Okay. That would work. Right. So 11, true. So it is in outside mode. Or there. So not and, it's or. Because it could either go above it or below it. Now I'm just going to wrap that in brackets so it does this check here first. And then it checks outside mode. So it's going to check that n is less than -1, because that doesn't make sense. If I did n, that number could never exist, right? Whereas if you say or, so the number could be either below that. So think of a number line. It's all the things that are below. It should be -1. It should just be 1. So if it's everything that's below 1, that's okay. And everything that's greater, yeah, greater than equal to. So less than equal to and greater than equal to. Sorry, all greater than equal to. So let's go there. Boom. So see how I filtered that? So this one here checked to see if the range was between 1 and 11 and not outside mode. That was the base case. We just returned true straight away. And then this one here checked to see if n was less than or equal to 1 or n was greater than or equal to 10. And it was the outside mode. We returned true. Otherwise, we got a false. Right, near 10. Given a non-negative integer num, return true if the number is within 2 of the multiple of 10. So a%b. So this is modding. Is the remainder of dividing a by b. So 7 mod 5 is equal to 2. So the percent symbol means percent. Awesome. So we want to see if a number, we do the mod of it, is close to 10. So let's think this through. Let's go check is equal to num mod 10, right? And then we want to see two things. So it's either if it was 8 ends in an 8, 9, 0, 1 or 2, you're all good. Right, so if I don't know, let's do it physically. Check in, and I'm just going to do square brackets. So check is in the brackets a 9 0 comma 1 comma 2. Return true, else return false. See how that goes. Whoops, snaky bite, sorry. And another snaky bite there. Yeah, cool. So if it's in that range, that will work. Cool. Yeah. Do that. Done. Hopefully that's helped. If you have any questions, please pop them in the comments down below. that's just the way that I would have solved it. I'm sure there's a billion different ways that you can do it. My whole purpose of this just to show you what my thought patterns were when I tried to solve it. If you've got other ways of doing it, please share. Really appreciate it. And yeah, see you next time on if you did enjoy the video, please give us a like and subscribe down below, as it does help with our YouTube algorithm. See you next time on Steam with Steve. Adios.